Taking a few more steps, she gazed over the beach. A crooked old wooden jetty, battered by storms and covered with barnacles, meandered into the sea. Long waves flowed in. There was a legendary break off this beach, and surfers loved it here, even in winter. But today was too cold even for them. Mickey's heart kicked. She looked around. She had a sixth sense about birds, and she could feel the owl even before she saw it. Her eyes were drawn instantly. Round and white, the snowy owl resembled a soccer ball sitting in the middle of the beach, just this side of the jetty, several feet from a silver wind-blasted driftwood log. "There," she whispered, her hand on Jenna's arm. "Oh, my God," Jenna whispered back. They stood perfectly still for several minutes. The snowy owl didn't move. It was regal, elegant, pure white, the tips of some feathers flecked with grayish-brown. Because it was midday, Mickey knew the owl was probably sleeping. Presently, Jenna nodded. She was ready to leave. The friends backed away from the owl. Mickey stared at it as long as she could. She would have liked to stay in the dunes, waiting for dusk and the birds' fly-out. "That was so cool," Jenna said, once they were well into the thicket and unlikely to disturb the owl. "I can't believe I finally saw one. Okay, check it off the list." "It was amazing," Mickey said, pricked by Jenna's attitude. By the time she and Jenna got onto their bikes, she felt anger and frustration building in her chest. How could Jenna be so cavalier about seeing a snowy owl, the bird she knew was Mickey's favorite, for the first time in her whole life? Mickey spotted the bulldozer and flatbed truck. "I wonder what that's for." "It belongs to Josh's father," Jenna said, mentioning her boyfriend Tripp's close friend. Josh Landry's family had recently moved to the state, and his father was a well-known businessman who was always involved in controversial projects. Mickey had been so preoccupied with her parents lately, she hadn't been keeping up on local news. "What's he going to do here?" she asked. "Oh, something to do with that sunken submarine. Didn't you see it in the paper? I guess it's been snagging fishing nets, so Mr. Landry wants to help our community by getting it out of here. He's going to take it somewhere so it can be turned into a museum." Jenna spoke as if she thought he was a local hero. "Help our community?" Mickey asked. "By moving the U-boat?" Incredulous, she spun her head around to look. This time she noticed a young man standing beside the truck, tall flames shooting up from his fingertips. Mickey's mind whirled. Having just seen the snowy owl, she thought he must be a sorcerer about to do wild magic. Her eyes met his, and in that instant she recognized him as one of the surfers from her high school. His expression was dark, his hand blazing fire. "We have to help him," she gasped, realizing that he was burning. As Mickey charged toward him, her bike skidded on the sand. She felt herself lose control, not in a bad way, but as if she had suddenly grown wings. She was a snowy owl lifting, rising above the road, almost high enough to see over the dunes and out to sea. She'd swoop down, put the fire out, save him. "Mickey, watch out!" Jenna screamed. "Whoa!" the fire boy yelled. Mickey let go of the handlebars. She felt her arms go up into the air, trying to steady herself. She heard the bike tumble and crash beneath her, and then she heard Jenna scream again. And then she felt herself come crashing down like a bird with broken wings onto the cold, sandy tar. Shane West held the flamethrower, stunned when he realized he wasn't alone. He'd come to the deserted beach to make his stand. Two girls rode by on their bikes just then. He recognized Neve Halloran as she turned to stare at him, saw the fire. She must have thought he needed help, because she flew at him like a two-wheeled missile, and he had to admire her for it. He knew single-minded purpose when he saw it. But just then, she went into a skid and took a header over her handlebars. Dousing the fire in a sand dune, he ran across the road as the other girl, Jenna Carlson, he thought, jumped off her bike, ran back, and dropped to her knees next to Mickey. Shane pushed past her and crouched, leaning over to look into Mickey's eyes. He had never talked to her, but he'd noticed her around school. Her face was pretty, pale, lightly freckled. Her enormous eyes were light